cutting our losses. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, it's natural that we as humans often have a hard time letting go, admitting to ourselves that the path we're on is a dead end, that the goal we set is unattainable, or that the costs of achieving it are just too high. Instinctively, we feel like ending something prematurely maybe is a sign of weakness, that quitting is for losers. But especially in politics, the opposite is often true. With Joe Biden as president, there are sadly many areas where America needs to cut her losses. First, we need to cut our losses in Ukraine. If you hadn't noticed, the Ukrainians are not winning. As our own nation is hurting, we've allocated more than $53 billion and counting in humanitarian military aid to help them beat back the Russians. But now? Well, here's a headline from Bloomberg. Putin may win in Ukraine, but the real war is just starting. What? And more Americans now say Russia rather than Ukraine is winning the war, too. But despite that, Biden still thinks that spending all that money and time when new mothers can't get formula and people can't afford gas is worth it.
Defending freedom, defending democracy was not going to go without cost for the American people. We were going to have to pay a price as well in the cost of military equipment, economic assistance, humanitarian relief. I believe then and I believe now. The free world had no choice. America could not stand by.
It's time to cut our losses before this turns into another Iraq or Afghanistan, where U.S. taxpayers are bled dry for years and years with no victory. Europe isn't ponying up the way it should. According to the new working paper by the Kiel Institute, America is still the biggest overall contributor, with about half of all commitments to Ukraine made by the United States. It's remarkable that the U.S. alone has committed considerably more than all EU countries combined, and whose immediate neighborhood the war is raging. And by the way, sanctions, not working. We said they wouldn't. They're not. In fact, they're making Russia even richer. The ruble's rallying, and money is pouring in from China and other nations. Russia's oil and ag exports are soaring. Oops. Second, it's long since time we cut our losses in China. Last year, our trade deficit with them was over $350 billion. We know they use slave labor to make everything from sneakers to computer chips. They flood us with fentanyl through Mexico, and they lied about the origins of COVID. So why are we dependent on China for anything? But Biden, of course, is taking the opposite lesson here. He's poised to lift the Trump-era tariffs that gave us some leverage against China and save some U.S. manufacturers. Scott Paul in the Washington Examiner writes that allowing an authoritarian state unfettered access to the U.S. markets is no longer an acceptable status quo. We shouldn't abandon important trade leverage against the Chinese government to shave a rounding error off the consumer price index. We need to start decoupling from China immediately. Third, it's time to cut our losses with this foolish green obsession. The Democrats talk about how great transitions can be painful at times. But what we're seeing under Biden is the transition from prosperity to poverty, from independence to servitude. Americans just can't afford 2.5 more years of high prices for gas, for food, and more goods. Biden, meanwhile, responds not with more drilling permits on federal lands, but with gimmicks.
By suspending the 18-cent gas tax, federal gas tax, for the next 90 days, we can bring down the price of gas and give families just a little bit of relief. The second action I'm taking is calling on states to either suspend the state gas tax as well or find other ways to deliver some relief.
Don't you love the 18-cent thing and behind him on the wall? What is that? Then he tries to shame gas station owners into losing money for the good of the country.
My message is simple. To the companies running gas stations and setting those prices at the pump, bring down the price you are charging at the pump. Do it now. Do it today.
That's a weird voice he uses. Does he not realize that most gas stations are small businesses? A lot of them are mom and pops. They're not owned by big oil, Joe. Is he stupid, or is he just plain stupid at this point? Sometimes it's really hard to tell. I don't know. But then again, the press thinks that we all complain too much.
There's a great deal of Americans where it is uncomfortable that they're spending more, but they are not going to go under. Yeah, it's costing you more for gas, but guess what? You're still going to take that holiday, that 4th of July vacation. You can still eat out. So I'm going to need you to calm down and back off, because it feeds into this fear, and then this fear feeds into people making decisions that creates the very thing that they're fearful of. And if you're in that category, calm down.
Yeah, she's an actual journalist for the Washington Post. Fourth, we also need to cut our losses in this wokeified military. Things are so bad with race and sexual indoctrination among our soldiers that even West Point is losing its allure. Courtesy of Judicial Watch, we see the Academy's training materials. They include these gems. In order to understand racial inequality and slavery, it is first necessary to address whiteness, one slide reads. It goes on to say that whiteness is a location of structural advantage of race privilege. Now, do you all realize that none of this gets funded without Republican votes? So it's time to put our money where our mouths are and say no. Cutting our losses means reforming our military back to its original purpose and role as a fighting force. Fifth, it's time to cut our losses with all things COVID. If we're up to Biden, the government would borrow hundreds of billions of dollars more for testing we don't need and vaccines for infants and toddlers that most parents don't want. Just a month into his presidency, though, the president was talking a very good game.
I want you to know that once we beat COVID, we're going to do everything we can to end cancer as we know it.
But now, 18 months later, he's looking for more money. COVID's still circulating, and he made an ominous reference.
We do need more money, but we don't just need more money for vaccines for children eventually. We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead.
I'm going to say this in a way that Biden fans can understand. It's about control, kids, not the virus. This is crazy. Now, when the GOP takes Congress, it needs to turn off the money spigot here and defund any remaining vax mandates, especially the push for vaxing small children. The entire COVID industrial complex needs to be investigated, from the NIH to Fauci and the NIAID. Because Americans need to know whether our scientists have been compromised by grants from Big Pharma or by their relationships with China. 6, we need to cut our losses on crime by defeating the liberal DAs wreaking havoc across America. You know, I was thinking, if San Francisco can boot the Soros-funded bomb, so can other cities. So it's time for billionaires who are sane to fund new campaigns to oust all the left-wing nuts who've eliminated cash bail and generally made our streets more dangerous. This is just a matter of life and death at this point. And 7, we need to cut our losses with the GOP establishment. Oh, yes. Those dinosaurs lumbering around, more interested in doing deals with Biden than staying true to the Constitution. Last year, they signed on to an idiotic infrastructure bill, and now many of the same senators are signing on to a gun control bill. 14 Republicans in all, led by John Cornyn of Texas. They're giving Biden a victory in infringing on the rights of law-abiding Americans. The legislation is 80 pages long, and last night, a vote was called just hours after the text was even released. It's a complete travesty, and it's one more step on the road to a gun ban. More on this later. And finally, Americans need to cut their losses with the party in power. You know, Democrats are in charge, and they, not Vladimir Putin, are destroying almost everything we love today. Americans are getting poorer by the day as the cost of everything is going up. Oh, except for one thing. The DNC has slashed the price of a Kamala Harris photo op from $15,000 to $5,000. What a bargain. But when America is hurting, when our people are hurting, when policies and plans aren't panning out, it's time to switch gears. The swamp here in D.C. is home to many varieties of swamp monsters, sleazy lobbyists, feckless politicians, and fat cat consultants. It's time to cut our losses and cut them all loose. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.